Recording in progress.
Please go ahead, Rohan.
Good evening and very warm welcome to all the participants, all the jury members, all the keynote speakers who have joined us for today's very important event, LGBTQI Matters, A Plus Matters, which is a hackathon. It's the top 10 teams selected from a very large pool of entries that were received, competing for their ideas and presenting their ideas to, well, in one sense to the panel of juries, but in another sense to the rest of the world as well, since this event is now gone live on the Facebook page of Friedrich Naumann Foundation. For those who have joined the event and those who want to share it with their friends, their colleagues, and of course their relatives and their special ones, please share the link now to the FB Live, or they can also join us as sort of audience here in this event. They are most welcome to join us. My name is Ruhan and I'm based out of Delhi. I'm the moderator for today's event and subsequently for the offline event that will happen in Sri Lanka. And I hope to see the top 3 of you and many of you there in that event. I have been associated now with this Born with Pride or the LGBTQI theme of Friedrich Naumann Foundation's work for the last 2 years. And prior to that, I have been associated with the other work of FNF over the last several years. I say this not because I'm a part of this event right now, but a big thank you to the FNF entire South Asia team for taking up this issue of LGBTQIA plus people, not just in South Asia as well as in Europe. Today, as we mark this important day, the International Day Against Transphobia, Homophobia and Biphobia, the work that FNF is doing is even more relevant, and I really want to express my thank you on behalf of all the participants to FNF and Dr. Klein particularly for bringing all of us together once again. I'm really excited. As Mr. Klein said initially, there are many friends already in this, among the juries, among the participants, among the organizers, and it is becoming truly a group of really committed people who are concerned about the cause of LGBTQ people all over South Asia coming together. So that's really that. And today's event is in one sense really unique, right? We have heard about many narratives, especially the Born with Pride conference that we did in Kathmandu last year, received fantastic support and great participation from all over South Asia, from Europe, from politicians, academicians, practitioners. Many people participated. And we heard several narratives, really big, moving stories, really inspiring stories of people, what struggles they are facing, but at the same time, how they are fighting those against each of those, whether it's the stigma, whether it's the rule, regulation, the government policies, or it's just the battle back home. They have been doing, we heard a lot of these narratives last year. I'm so happy that this year, we are now moving from the narratives to the solutions. And we had a chance to see through some of the presentations you all have put together. And I must say that it fills us our hearts with so much optimism and hope, with all the creativity, all the uniqueness and originality of thinking. But most importantly, although the lives are difficult and the challenges are many, we are still thinking of creative solutions to how to overcome those challenges. That actually is a really good sign of a thriving community that we are. So once again, thank you all the participants for coming together. Thanks to the organizing team FNF for bringing all of us together. I'm going to express my best of luck to all the participants. You have already achieved one milestone. I'm sure you're excited about presenting your ideas today. It's just, for the name, it's just a competition, but I think it's just really, in one sense, a festival of ideas, isn't it? Like, some ideas may get selected, some may not, but at the same time, all the 10 ideas are extremely relevant. They're really meaningful, and you have worked on those and spent some time thinking about those. So thank you so much for all your efforts so far, and wish you all the best for today's speeches. I'm as excited as you are to hear how you present them and what the jury has to say. So special shout out to all 4 jury members. I will obviously introduce them at the later point when we come to the juries. In the meanwhile, now we are going to start with some special speakers who have joined us from Europe and from South Asia today. So first, I'm going to request Tenzin I'm going to first turn off my camera and I'm going to read out a little bit about the first speaker we have today with us. Just a quick introduction bio. We have Ms. Sabine. Forgive me about my pronunciation. I'll just pronounce it as Sabine LS, who's the executive board member of FNF. She's a German politician, lawyer who studied law. She worked at the German Patent Office from the 1979 to 1990, becoming managing director before being elected to the German Bundestag in 1990 as the member of the Free Democratic Party, FDP. She served as the Federal Minister of Justice from 1992 to 1996 and again from 2009 to 2013. She was also the FDP chairwoman for Bavaria from 2000 to 2013 and a member of the FDP steering committee from 1992 to 2013. She is currently the deputy chairman of the executive board of FNF and she has also been recognized for her work and has received awards such as the First Class of Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany and Bavarian Order of Merit. I'm so thrilled to have her recorded message for us today and look forward to hearing what she has to say. She has shared her message for our event. Here we go.
Dear members of the jury, dear participants in teams from across the world, dear members of the audience. It is a great pleasure for me to speak to you today, a pleasure not only because human rights issues in general and the rights of queer people in particular are very close to my heart. It is a great pleasure because we look at these issues from a refreshingly different angle. In parts of the world, progress in securing the rights of queer people is stalling, or even going in the wrong direction. At least in parts, Europe is no exception. I therefore greatly appreciate the constructive and forward-looking approach of the Hackathon, as well as the effort to bring young and creative people from across the world together to look for ways to further the rights of queer people. I'm also delighted to see an event shedding light on a region which in Europe is still somewhat underappreciated. In spite of many challenges, the scenario for queer people in the region has broadly improved greatly in the recent past. In a host of countries, including India, Nepal, and Bhutan, homosexuality has been decriminalized in the last 1 decade. Many cities in South Asia now regularly see pride parades, including Dharamshala in the foothills of the Himalayas and seat of the Tibetan administration in exile, which saw their first pride ever just 2 weeks ago. In Nepal, the protection of rights of queer people is now explicitly granted in the Constitution, and the Indian Supreme Court currently hears a case on the recognition of same-sex marriage. In our enthusiasm over this progress, we should not forget that a lot of work still needs to be done. The scenario in Afghanistan is absolutely bleak. Being openly gay in countries like Bangladesh or Pakistan can put your life at risk. Yet, even in Pakistan, the parliament currently deliberates the rights of transgender people and the amendment of the 2018 Act aimed at protecting transgender rights. I wish all of you a successful event. I sincerely hope that the event contributes to the Foundation's endeavor to connect young people from Europe and South Asia and that some of the connections remain beyond the event, fostering a conversation between people from both regions. There's a lot we can learn from one another. I wish the participating teams best of luck, and I look forward to meeting the winning team in Berlin in October.
Thank you. And we have our next speaker, Dr. Carsten Klein, who we just heard a little bit, but now I'm excited to invite him formally to deliver his opening remarks. It's very, very important also to hear a little bit about Dr. Klein and his work, although many of us now know him and his excellent leadership and his enthusiasm, especially with this cause that he has been driving for the last 2 years. I've been personally really lucky to see his passion and commitment for this. He has been excellent support for the community for the last 2 years that I have known him. Dr. Carsten Klein's professional career has been geared towards international interactions. He is, of course, currently the regional director of FNF South Asia. He initially served in the German armed forces before transitioning to civilian life. He joined the Foreign and Security Policy team of the Free Democratic Party, FDP, in Bundestag, and later managed FDP parliamentary groups in 2 state assemblies. Subsequently, he oversaw the department responsible for international concerns at the Federal Employment Agency's Central Placement Office for Foreigners and Specialists, ZAV. Since 2020, Dr. Klein has held the role of Head of Regional Office of South Asia at the Friedrich Naumann Foundation for Freedom. He is based here out of Delhi. Dr. Klein, welcome, and over to you. We are all looking forward to hear your thoughts, please.
So thank you very much to all of you. First of all, honorable member of Austrian Parliament, Yannick Shetty, it's really great to have you here. We were interacting quite often in all of our different formats, as Mr. Joshi rightly said, our excellent moderator. That is not the first time that we're meeting, so it's very good that you are here because you are really a very committed supporter of the movement. Distinguished jury members, Mariko, my dear colleague and friend Paragram, Mr. Hoffman, and Yannick Shetty, it's great to have you here, and we will see which verdict we see at the end of the day. Dear moderator, Rohan Joshi, thank you very much for continuously supporting us. Dear Mrs. Leuthmesser-Schnarrenberger, and dear Health Minister of Bhutan, Dashu Deshen Wangmo, thanks for your very valuable insights. And last but not least, dear Mrs. Teresa Whitlock, thank you very much for the support with many ideas regarding this hackathon. Without your personal commitment, that would not have taken place. And of course, the most interesting and most important group, our participants. It's really great pleasure for me to have you here. It's really great, and I think on this 17th of May, International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia, remembering 1990 when World Health Organization declassified homosexuality as a mental disease. Imagine that. That is really a very important day to come together. And we should not forget that also the European Union, this hackathon is a hackathon which should bring people from different parts of South Asia, our region, together with people in Europe, that the European Commission just in the year 2020 established their EU equal strategy of European Commission. And I might just one sentence quote: our social, political, and economic strength comes from our unity in diversity. equality and non-discrimination are core values and fundamental rights in the European Union. And please let me add also for Friedrich Naumann Foundation in the global scale. Organizing this hackathon brings excellent people together. That is number one, and I think that is really one of the major goals of this conference. Number two, I think we should use every possible event to sort of raise the flag of awareness for minorities, for people from the human rights activities, and also for other vulnerable groups. So it's really a great opportunity to have this 17th of May amongst other days, and even the month of June will be for us also a very important possibility to again raise our flag. The hackathon, as well as all the other opportunities, give especially a good opportunity to network amongst the South Asian community, and in this particular format also with people from Europe, which is really a great achievement. The winner of I think more than 37 different ideas and excellent projects which were submitted to Friedrich Naumann Foundation. The winner of the three winners, if I may say, of the next round will be invited by the foundation to Sri Lanka from the 5th to the 8th of June. The jury will assemble again. We will have some activists and some friends from Europe, and we have, of course, you here, the participants, and especially those who won. I might say that we went through all the different submitted projects, and I could only tell you that it is really great work that you are doing. So thank you very, very much for your personal commitment. And moreover, one could really see in all the projects that you are personally also very, very committed of the path of the LGBTQIA communities in the different countries. So followed by this Sri Lanka get-together in person, we will then have a big and large hackathon event in Germany, most probably in October, where we then have the opportunity amongst other global hackathon themes with their different topics to present the winner from South Asia. Actually, Friedrich Naumann Foundation South Asia, due to what Mr. Joshi has said, we really decided to take this flag of the LGBTIQ community also to our important event to Berlin. Again, thanks to all the submitters of the projects. Thanks again to the great jury members. I might say that most of you are really very good advisors to Foundation and also very, very good friends. So thank you, Mariko, Paragram, and Mr. Shetty for being with us here in this hackathon event. It's really great. And last but not least, let me also mention thanks to Hacker Earth. As I said already, Hacker Earth enabled us to carry out this hackathon in a professional way. And please, dear friends, do not let us pass the possibility to also mention the colleagues from our teams. As I said, Sri Lanka team, Ruben and dear Samantha, thank you very, very much for your personal commitment. Thanks, Tashi, from our office in New Delhi, Tenzing. Paljor, Manjari, and Nupur, and of course, my dear friend, Mr. Hoffman, thanks for your personal commitment and helping us to make this hackathon happening. So with that, I say thank you again to all of you. I'm really very happy, and I'm promising that Friedrich Naumann Foundation is following on that particular path of working for the community. And moreover, whenever we are traveling, wherever we are going, we try to always meet up with you folks, especially to learn from you about the sometimes really, as Mrs. Leuthäuser-Schnarrenberger rightly said, to hear from you, from your personal stories and your excellent work in the political field, in the economic field, and of course also in the particular field of the LGBTIQ rights. Thanks a lot. All the best for this hackathon, and seeing you soon in person, that's for sure. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Klein. Thank you so much. Very inspiring words as always. We have many people who have joined us as attendees. So those of you who have joined us in the last 4-5 minutes, we are hearing from some really big supporters and some keynote speakers who have extended their support to this event, as well as the overall cause that we are working for. Welcome to all of you for today's session. I'm going to now request our next speaker, who's also very special sort of speaker. Great to have them with us as to deliver their special address. We have a recorded message this time. This is by Her Excellency Dasho Deshen Wangmu, who's the only female minister in the current cabinet of Bhutan. And she took charge of the Ministry of Health in November 2018. She previously worked as a public health international consultant with a primary focus on health systems, governance, policy, and strategic planning for governments and civil societies in various countries. Her background includes working on global health issues such as health system strengthening, health governance, grant implementation, and monitoring and evaluation systems. In December 2020, she was conferred with the Red Scarf, one of the highest honors of Bhutanese civilian Bhutanese civilian can receive. She is also the president of the 74th World Health Assembly, an honor bestowed on Bhutan for the first time since it became a member of the WHO in 1982. Her Excellency is a passionate public health advocate and a social worker. She founded the Bhutan's Cancer Society and Laksam, an HIV positive network in the country. She has a master in public health from Yale School of Public Health and a bachelor in cardiopulmonary science from the Northeastern University. We are indeed lucky to have Her Excellency Dasho Deshen Wangmu with us. Over to Tenzin to play Her Excellency's video for all of us, please. Thank you.
Kuzuzambo and hello from Bhutan. It is an honor to join you today on this important occasion as we observe the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia and Biphobia. This is a day when we come together as a global community to stand in solidarity with our LGBTIQ friends, colleagues and neighbors, and to reaffirm our commitment towards promoting equality, justice and respect for all. This day plays an important role in raising visibility and creating awareness about the discrimination faced by LGBTI communities around the world. The day also provides an opportunity for individual organizations and government to come together and take action towards ending discrimination and protecting acceptance. The day also provides a platform to acknowledge the concerted effort of several countries, organizations and individuals who have implemented laws, policies and services to protect LGBTIQ individuals from discrimination and violence, with many organizations developing programs and initiatives to promote acceptance and inclusion. I thank you all for your unwavering dedication and support to the LGBTI communities around the world. In Bhutan, the decriminalization of same-sex has paved a way of a greater acceptance and inclusion of the LGBTI communities. Across the Southeast Asia, it is wonderful to see societal attitudes being changed quickly and the efforts of everyone who are working tirelessly to promote the rights of LGBTI communities, garnering greater acceptance and protections. In Bhutan, with the Penal Code Amendment of 2021, the community has now achieved greater tolerance and acceptance from the society. Moving forward, Bhutan will continue to grow and ensure that everyone is included in the society and no one is left behind. As an individual and a proud friend of the community, I believe that it is our responsibility to support and uplift the marginalized communities in our society. The struggle for LGBTI rights is ongoing. There is still much work to be done to ensure that every person, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity, is treated with dignity, respect, and equality. Thank you for joining me today and for your continued support of the LGBTI community. Together, we can make a difference and build a better and a healthy world for all of us. Thank you and Tashtele.
It's really wonderful to hear all these words of support. Also, it's the line that's repeating that the lives of LGBT spectrum, the entire community that we now consider, have changed. And we have many of us, I know the participants' age group is much younger, but many of us have been lucky to see this transformation over the last 2 decades or so. Of course, this comes with a complete awareness that there is a huge ground that we still have to cover in terms of the stigma, in terms of overall dignity in day-to-day lives. Yet these words that keynote speakers and speakers are expressing is really reassuring. It's reminding us of all the efforts that have gone and all the milestones that we have covered so far. So that's really, really wonderful. I'm going to now request our next speaker, and as Dr. Klein initially said, also a person really responsible for giving this really unique, innovative form to the entire effort of a hackathon. I'm so sort of happy to request Mrs. Teresa Whitlock to join us to express her thoughts, her views, and also tell us a little bit about why do you think hackathon and how did you come up with this as an idea for engaging with the community and engaging all of us. Thank you, first of all, and welcome. Over to you. The stage is all yours. Look forward to hearing your thoughts, please.
Thank you. Well, esteemed participants, members of the LGBTQIA+, I hope once I said it correctly, community, members of the jury and the Friedrich Naumann Foundation, and everyone tuning in from around the region and the world. First of all, thank you for all the praises facing in my direction. I must pass them on later on to my predecessor on this position because, as was mentioned earlier, I'm the head of the Global Themes Division now, but as these ideas were drawn up, someone else who led the division before was kind of the mastermind behind everything. But nonetheless, I am, of course, a stark supporter of the whole idea and the idea of the hackathon as well. I want to give a warm and heartfelt welcome to this significant event, I think, celebrating the rights and identities of the LGBTQI community here in the Southeast or the South Asia region. And today we gather, as has been pointed out numerous times, to recognize and emphasize the importance of the LGBTQI rights as human rights. It is a matter of great significance as we strive to build a society that cherishes diversity, equality, and respect for every individual, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity. And as you all know, human rights are universal, indivisible, and inalienable rights, and they belong to every person, irrespective of what their orientation or their identity may be. So it is our collective responsibility to ensure that these rights are upheld and protected for all members of society. And that's maybe why the idea of a hackathon, or the form of a hackathon, is such a good idea, because it embraces all of society and gives everyone the opportunity to give their ideas into some form of an event taking place. And let me emphasize that in South Asia, where traditions and cultural norms often play a very powerful role, it is crucial that we come together to address the challenges faced by the LGBTQI community. And I may say that we as the Friedrich Naumann Foundation stand here to affirm that every person deserves to be treated with dignity and enjoy the same rights and opportunities as anyone else. And we recognize these struggles that the community still faces, especially in South Asia. And far too often the individuals face discrimination, exclusion, violence, simply because they are who they are, or they love who they love. And this is a stark reminder that we still have, on this day especially, a long way to go in creating a society that embraces and respects everyone, and that embraces individual decisions and individual identities. And this is where finally events like this hackathon today come into the picture, because this hackathon and other events like it, I remember, and it was mentioned before, the big Born with Pride conference the foundation had last year, and what is still going to be continued in other events. These events are crucial for promoting awareness and understanding for the issues in the regions, but as a whole as well, and provide a platform for the LGBTQI individuals, community as a whole, to share their experiences and connect with their respective friends in the community across South Asia and also across Europe. And this is where something comes in which has been mentioned earlier. This hackathon is taking place under the umbrella theme of Reshape Europe in the foundation. Reshape Europe is our annual global topic, and even if you may think now that there is no real connection today between today's topic and South Asia in general, or the theme in general, there actually is a very big connection. I think Mr. Klein mentioned it earlier. The EU can promote more free and democratic societies through global dialogue, and this is what we are trying and striving to do with this event, and also with kind of a coming event in Germany later on. And everything surrounding this topic we are supporting in South Asia and all around the world, with a focus on human rights, and as part of this, LGBTQI rights as well. In the end, I think events like today's can give hope to the whole community. We must remember that respecting LGBTQI rights is not a threat to our traditions, cultures, or values. On the contrary, it enriches us and strengthens the very fabric of our societies, because if we embrace diversity and inclusivity, we do not diminish us, we empower ourselves, because we allow to tap into a wealth of talent, creativity, innovation, and different identities that are out there, that exist in every individual. And I think today we gather to see that creativity and to recommit ourselves, also as the Friedrich Naumann Foundation, to the cause of equality and justice. We stand in solidarity, I may say, as the Friedrich Naumann Foundation with the LGBTQIA+ community, and promise to fight against discrimination, to raise awareness, to educate, to advocate for the rights. And by doing so, we hope to be part of building a better and more inclusive South Asian society and community, where every person can live authentically and with pride. Once again, let me say a warm welcome to everyone who joined in today, especially, of course, to the participants. And let me say, we should join hands, hearts, minds, and hear the creativity of the community today. And I wish everyone very good luck in their endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was really great to hear. In case I missed out a little bit of a formal introduction, Ms. Teresa Whitlock is a lawyer specializing in media law and is the head of the Global Themes Division, as she mentioned in her speech, at FNF. Within the foundation, she has already worked on the topics of civil rights and rule of law, which again she mentioned, and as a legal advisor as well. She volunteers as a vice chair of an association of liberal internet policy and as a member of the board of Liberal Women in Berlin. Many of the participants here might be already familiar with the liberal philosophy, liberal thought, which also binds all of us together. We have a specific perspective of looking towards human rights as well as looking towards the dignity of individuals, which is at the core of liberal values. I request all the participants also to spend a couple of minutes to get yourself familiar with the liberal thought that FNF belongs to. You can visit the FNF website and get yourself familiar with a little bit of the philosophy as well, which I'm sure will also bring you closer with heart as well as with brain, with the work that we have been doing. With this, I once again express my deepest gratitude to all our speakers who either joined us in live or as video recorded message. Thank you for taking out the time, and thank you for your expressing your absolutely unambiguous support and solidarity and participation to the cause that we have all gathered for. It's really, really important. This support, people coming from such rich backgrounds, professional backgrounds, and such achievers in their lives, definitely add more credibility to the voices of LGBTQIA plus community, not just in South Asia, but all over the world. Thank you once again, and we'll conclude the opening session here. We are obviously now gearing up for the second important part of the event, the pitches, the ideas that we are all going to share. We have an excellent panel of jury that is here. Many of us have also close ties with the community, which makes their process of jurying not just intellectual and rational, but there's also some heart attached to it. So that's really, really wonderful. I've had a chance to actually get to know or work with each of those jury members in the last couple of years' time. So in no particular sequence, I'm just first going to announce their names, and I'm also going to request my colleague Tenzin, if you could please share their profiles on the screen. It will be easier for participants to quickly get to know who the jury members are. But as we start that, first, may I please welcome Mr. Yannick Shetty, who has joined us all the way from Austria today. He's a young Austrian politician and advocate for racial acceptance and equality. His background and the work that he has been doing is here in front of you on the screen. Yannick, once again, really thank you so much for first helping us arrive at this list of 10 really talented teams, and also thank you for all your help in now coming up with the top 3. Your voice and your support and your participation in this matters a lot. So thank you so much, Yannick. And this is now your second year of associating with it. Really, really appreciate it. Then we have my two dear friends, Tenzin Mariko and Parakram Rana, one who's a former Buddhist monk, Tenzin Mariko, who's now a Tibetan queer icon, makeup artist, and a performer. You can see her profile there on the screen. Among the many impressive things she has done, one of the recent ones was the first Pride Parade that took place in Dharamshala. So, Michael, wonderful. Welcome to have you here. As always, great to see your smiling face. We have Parakram, whom again we had a chance to interact with last year in Nepal during our Born with Pride conference. He has truly taken the internet by storm by his sassy videos, which always convey really an important message related to the community, especially even in a country like Nepal, where he has a huge youth followership. So that's amazing. Parakram, thanks for all the work that you have been doing, and it's amazing to have you as one of the jury members with us today. We have Frank Hoffman, who's also associated with FNF and has also been associated with the cause of LGBTQIA plus rights for several years now. Frank is our fourth jury member. He is playing an important role once again at the foundation to make events like this and many others happen. Frank, welcome to today's event. Thanks for all your work in the last few days to come up with this list of 10 teams. And all the best to all the jury members for today's competition. As much as it's difficult for the participants, I'm very much aware that it's not that easy for the jury either to come up with the top 3 out of 10 brilliant ideas. But I'm very, very sure that you have your thoughts and ideas in place. So without wasting any further time on this, welcome once again to the jury. Once again, thanks to all the special speakers who joined us before. Once again, a big shout out to those who have joined us as audience. It's really, really important. If I have missed out, I see Mr. Roman Otto here, and I forgot mentioning him. Hello, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really sorry with in the greed of people I couldn't see you before. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really, really appreciate it. May I please hand it over to Rico now? Rico, sorry to delay this a little bit. So over to you. Now I'm one of the participants, keen to see how the rest of the event goes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Rohan, for the wonderful introduction. And that the fact that we are 10 minutes behind schedule only speaks in favor of the enthusiasm that the jury members and the members of Team FNF and our honored guest has towards this hackathon. So hey everyone, just to introduce myself formally, I am Rico Banerjee, your host for the day, and I'm an event specialist here at Hackathon. And I can't stress enough how proud we at Hackathon are to work with Team Frederick Newman Foundation on the LGBTQIA plus Matters Hackathon. We have been working with Team FNF for a while now. It's been a couple of months, maybe even more than that for our internal team. And the amount of enthusiasm that we have seen from Team FNF towards this hackathon, towards the cause behind this hackathon is just amazing. So hats off to Team FNF for everything. So without further ado, without further introductions, which we have already been through since for the half hour before now, I'm gonna quickly go ahead and lay down the rules for the hackathon now. I know that the jury members and the participants are well aware of this, and I just want to lay it out here for all the other esteemed guests and the participants here. So firstly, this would be our 3-minute elevator pitch where the finalists are gonna pitch their ideas in front of our honorable jury. They're gonna speak about their project and how they're going about it. And immediately following their pitch session, we're gonna have a 4-minute Q&A session where the jury members are gonna ask questions to the finalists about their projects to get to know them better. So without further ado, I'm gonna now slowly start calling up teams one by one. And just a quick heads up, you might see me interrupting a lot in case we go a tad bit over time. So apologies in advance for that, but we do have a time limit for the pitch session and the Q&A. So I'm just gonna keep track of time in this phone right here, and you might hear a ding ding sound, or I'm just gonna make it myself. So now we're gonna bring forward our first team, that is Unity Unicorns. So Team Unity Unicorns, the stage is all yours now.
Sorry, I'm just having trouble sharing my screen. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Do you know that we spend over 50% of our waking hours at work? For some of us, even more. So imagine feeling excluded among the people that you spend half your day with every single day. It's bound to impact your mental health. A European workplace study revealed that 67% respondents had heard or seen negative comments about their LGBTQ colleague. Even though stringent labor laws exist, workplace bias also exists. Now, we know that there are diversity programs in workplaces, but it can be challenging to train employees when considering factors such as age, cultural bias, or religious bias. For them, diversity training might be like reading terms and conditions. They click and click to skip to the end, but they actually learn nothing. That's why we needed a solution that works for the modern workplace, one that positively encourages people to think with an inclusive mindset. Now, my teammate Atman will take you through that solution.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, for the problem addressed, our solution is Inclus, an inclusive language tool. It's a real-time solution that penetrates company-wide written communication applications, including but not limited to browser extensions, Microsoft Teams, and also emails. Similar to a language checker, it flags phrases that are deemed as offensive or discriminatory. Initially, this tool will pick up English phrases, as we believe English is the most widely used language across the globe for business communication. Additionally, with the shift to remote work culture, most companies in Europe and South Asia have been relying on instant messaging tools as their primary mode of communication. which is where we believe that our tool has the opportunity to find its space in day-to-day communication. We want companies to have this tool installed on every system they have so that their employees can have an exposure to this language inclusive tool. And we believe this is the advantage Inclus will bring over those normal training programs they have. We believe this tool is feasible because it is based on AI and machine learning, and with time, this technology will become more intelligent, accessible, and cheaper than it is today. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation, team. And now, jury members, the panel's all yours.
Can we just go ahead, or is there any? Yeah, okay. So thank you very much for the presentation. Hi from Vienna, Austria. I really like your presentation and also your presentation we saw before. So I have one question you also raised as a possible concern in your presentation. We got to see before. How would you ensure that the privacy data is protected? Because you would screen every private conversation between the people in the company. So how would you address this problem?
So I believe that we won't be storing any conversation or the data. It's just gonna hover over the conversations when they are typing before they send it, and it's gonna flag that if it is offensive or discriminatory. We are not going to store any of the conversations or data anywhere.
It's very similar to the Grammarly model.
So people can access this, like you said, there's an app, and will there be a website as well?
So it's kind of a plugin you can add in a Chrome as well,
Plugin.
or
Okay.
Yep.
So it's a plugin but one can't access it through an app. It has to be accessed on email via plugin.
Yep.
Yeah. So we actually for the first stage, we want workplaces to download this suite. With this suite, you get similar to Grammarly, a browser extension, and then you can have an integration for team messaging or for your clients. So it's pretty non-invasive that way. You don't have to download anything on your phone.
Okay. Thanks.
Comparing Inclus to Grammarly, now the thing with grammar is we have a lot of fixed rules, whereas inclusive language is also rather culture sensitive. How are you going to deal with that?
Yeah. So I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, Atman, but this is where our AI integration comes in. So Inclus is not about checking, grammar or typos. We want the AI to differentiate context and accordingly flag phrases which it feels is exclusionary or offensive. So we need the power of AI to basically differentiate between that. So we're not going to flag every time somebody uses any word. It's going to understand context and only then flag that.
Okay. So what is considered offensive? Even though in India and in the UK or the US we speak English, but would the same things be considered offensive in India, the UK, and the US?
Yeah. So in our first stage, we are modeling it on English language itself, because we believe that that's the most commonly spoken business communication language. So stage one would basically be phrases that might be commonly considered offensive in English, like normal spoken language, or that's quite popular. And once we grow and get feedback, we'll be able to integrate these nuances as well, like cultural nuances.
And probably extend it to different languages as well if we want.
Thank you, jury members, for the wonderful questions. And that's enough time we have for Team Unity Unicorn. So thank you, team, for your presentation. And now I'm going to go ahead and call up Team Rejects to take over the panel. Team Rejects, all yours.
Hello everyone. Is my screen visible?
Yep, everything's perfect. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So hello everyone, this is Team Regex and now I'm going to give a presentation of our project Spectrum. Nearly 68% of LGBTQ community face social challenges and discrimination due to their sexual orientation or gender identity. This includes discrimination and prejudice, stigma and stereotype, social isolation, bullying, and legal discrimination. So it is very important for us as a society to work towards greater acceptance and understanding. So do you want the suffering to end? Do you want a one-stop solution to all your problems? If your answer is yes, then we have come up with Project Spectrum. This includes several features like Pride March notification, community room, emergency SOS, chatbot, blogs and news, and explore your identity. Let's understand these features in details. First is the community room. Here, like-minded people will be allowed to share a room where not everyone can join this room. People will have to be invited by a separate ID through which they can join. Next is the Pride March notification. Here the users will also have access to features where they can get notification of the Pride March based on the city that they enter. This will be sent to the mobile phone of the user and so that the user can be easily able to navigate to the location. Next, the emergency alert or SOS system. This would act as an alert feature where the user can press it in case they feel endangered. This will allow the local authorities and their family members and alert them. It will ensure the safety of the user at all times. Next, the chatbot. Not only that, with the help of AI to smoothen the user experience, the website is custom tailored to specific users, where the user will get specific reply to their said problem with the help of AI. Next, the blogs and news. It is specific to the LGBTQ community, which is updated on real time, keeping the users engaged to the real world problems. Finally, the Explore Your Identity. It is an essential feature that is bundled in our project that will provide resources and required counseling that will help young individuals to find out their real identity. So how do we exactly plan to accomplish all of these? So we have thought of using Django as the backend and Django templating engine from the front end. And along with that, we will be using PyTorch for our ML model. So that's all for Project Spectrum. We are hoping that this will bring inclusivity in the community. So now we are open to questions.
Yep. You remember all yours.
Yes, thank you very much for your presentations. Welcome from Cologne, Germany. I got a short question about the communication room. Is this communication room moderated? So is there a possibility to report messages or request a deletion of a message?
So actually we have kept this community room very much limited. First off, the safety feature that we are including in this is that not everyone can join. You have to be invited by a member who is currently present in that community so that this will ensure the safety and not any offensive messages or thoughts are passed through that community room. And along with that, yes, as you mentioned, the report feature, we are planning to add that as well. So that people, if they feel that something offensive is happening, they can report it and there will be a central authority who can remove the user from that community room.
Thank you. Another question. Your idea consists of various different elements, right? So the platform should cover chatbot, the community area, event notifications. My question would be, are there any existing platforms in your countries already covering some of the proposed features, and what would the benefit of your platform be compared to the existing ones, if there are some?
Okay, so we had done some research on this. So there is not a single platform which covers all of these features. Along with that, we have some very important features included in our platform. Some of them are the SOS feature, the chatbot, and the Know Your Identity. So these are very unique features. The SOS feature mostly, as you mentioned earlier also, numerous violation occurs against the community. So SOS feature will ensure the safety of the community so that if they feel endangered, they can send the message to someone and someone will be there to protect them or help them out. And the chatbot, it will answer all the queries with the help of AI. So it is mostly like a chat GPT thing. So if you have any queries about the LGBTQ community or safety or anything in general, it will be able to answer that. And finally, coming with the know your identity. So this is one of the very unique and essential features that our platform, that we are including in our platform. So if the user is not sure about their identity and they're willing to coming out, but they're not sure about their identity, so they have to answer a simple questionnaire on the basis of which our AI model will determine their identity. Along with that, if they are still not sure, we are planning to include sessions with community experts or counselors who will help them and guide them further.
Okay.
Hi, I had a question. For the SOS section, as of now you said in the beginning it's going to be a website, accessible through a website. They say that you're going to develop an app later, right, for future. So how is a person going to click? How easy is it going to be to press the SOS button?
So let me address this question. So we'll be building this thing with React and Django. So Django is a JavaScript framework which we can use to make progressive web apps, which is mobile friendly. Like it is a simple app, so it does not take a lot of time. So we can add shortcuts to like pressing the power button twice or something like that. So if they feel the need to, they can just press the power button twice and the SOS message will be sent. Or the feature will be activated. It is as simple as that.
That being said, now I'm gonna call up the next team, and thank you, Team Regex, for giving your presentation. And now I'm gonna call up Team PNG to the panel. So Team PNG, it's all panels all yours. And I have gotten a message from Team PNG, and don't worry, we're gonna look into it later, and you can go ahead and present your ideas.
Thank you, Rico. Gaurav, can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure. I hope it's visible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we start, jury? In the vibrant world of the LGBTQIA plus community, Pride stands tall as a beacon of hope and support. We are a bold project challenging taboos around sexual health and hygiene. Our mission is to break barriers and give our community the comprehensive sexual education and specialized resources they truly deserve. We envision a world where your unique needs and concerns are met with compassion and understanding. At the heart of Pride lies a wise and knowledgeable chatbot, a true ally in your journey towards sexual health and hygiene. No longer will you feel lost or isolated. It is here to empower and educate you, answering all your questions with empathy and accuracy. We provide a thriving community through a vibrant forum. Here, you can be anonymous and also safe from all the hate speech and harassment, as our machine learning algorithm in the forum filters out the offensive words, providing a safe online space. Pride's blog section is a treasure trove of resources where you are kept up to date with all the community-specific news. Pride's unique self-love booth is a sanctuary, a safe haven for self-care and mental health support. We automatically give you movie and song recommendations based on your mood. In addition, we have Pridescape, an interactive online space that provides inspiration and motivation through thought-provoking quotes and affirmations. We have big plans for this in the future. We achieve Pride by leveraging data, artificial intelligence, and cloud technology to provide comprehensive support and still ensure an easy and accessible user experience. Coming to our future scopes, Pride will offer an all-in-one solution for the community, featuring a travel companion to find safe destinations and partners, an events portal for global LGBTQIA plus happenings, and a sustainable business model through affiliate marketing and sponsored content. Most importantly, promote digital inclusivity for disabled individuals within the LGBTQIA plus community.
We are the ultimate one-stop solution that caters to all aspects for your well-being, ranging from awareness and mental and physical health support to creating an online safe space. Our future plans will ensure that every member of our community feels a deep sense of belonging and empowerment. We are eager to discuss our idea and answer your questions, as well as showcase our ready to go to MVP. Thank you.
Over to the jury members.
Great presentation and great name. Just with the name, where does the Y come from instead of the I?
We just thought we'll just make it a little different from that.
All right.
Hi, PNG. Are you trying to make this as an app in the future, or how are you going to work it out?
Yes. Right now we are web developers, so we thought we'll first have a web-based application and then move to a mobile application.
But yeah, we are like planning to keep it as a web app application so that it can be used by any user anywhere, wherever in their comfort.
Yeah, great idea. Thank you.
So, hi Team PNG, thank you very much for your great presentation. I get two short questions. First, is the access to the platform supposed to cost money? Because you mentioned like this recommendation of music especially, and the first idea that came to me was like, oh, there are copyright problems. So are you just want to recommend a song with like a link to Spotify or Deezer, or are you also providing the song?
We like thought of providing a playlist to them, not only a specific song according to their mood. We'll provide a list of playlists, and it will be Spotify playlist basically for now, because like we have an MVP ready. If you guys want, we can show it to you. But yeah, for now we are using a Spotify playlist because that's the free API we have right now. But yeah, we can think of some like our own music recommendations or something when we have the funding or something like that.
Hello. Hi guys.
Hi.
So there was a question. I really like the idea because I think we have very less ways for us to even speak about how to be safe while having sexual intercourse in our community. My question was in this point where you have ability to connect with medical professionals, are you going to also work on making sure that they are LGBTQIA plus friendly? Because there are many medical professionals who are either clueless or are not as like welcoming to people from our community, at least in the South Asian region.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of point we have been focusing on from the very beginning. The chat, the bot, and the Pridescape feature. So the bot, like as you mentioned, medical professionals. Yeah, we thought about that. We actually need medical professionals who know about all of this stuff. Okay, so for now we have created a bot which is like powered by AI. But we really want to create a bot which is powered by human, like doctors who actually know about stuff. We want particular questions to be answered by them. So that is the thing we need to work upon. Yeah, we want doctors who actually know about all of this stuff, and well-powered answers based upon their recommendations and everything.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, team, for the presentation, and thank you, jury members, for your questions. Now I'm gonna call up Team Colors of Acceptance to the panel. All yours, team.
Can you hear me?
Yep, please go ahead.
And is my screen visible?
All good.
All right. Yeah. In 2019, Shemba, who identified as a transgender and wanted to express their gender identity, was subjected to bullying, name calling, and physical violence by fellow students. When teachers and authorities could not stop it, they ultimately had to drop out, resorting to begging and leaving their dreams of becoming a lawyer. A common occurrence, with over 50% of queer youth in India and Europe schools facing bullying. This underscores the urgent need for education and awareness about LGBTQIA issues in schools and communities, and demonstrates the harmful consequences of lack of understanding and acceptance, resulting in discrimination, stigma, and even violence against the queer community. But we have a solution: art. It has been proven by research that art-based approaches to teach about social issues can be more effective than traditional curriculum. We propose an innovative art-based education project aimed at promoting empathy, acceptance, and respect for the queer community among children and youth. By harnessing the power of art, we aim to create a safe and inclusive space where young minds can explore, learn, and grow. Our project will feature a variety of art-based activities such as painting, storytelling, visual arts. Through workshops facilitated by trained instructors, we will engage students in creative expression and critical thinking. And additionally, we aim to use digital tools such as online learning platforms, podcasts, games in the long term. For implementation, we aim to engage experts to help design pilots, which we will test at partner institutes. We aim to use various art forms to see what works best for which audiences and iterate to improve this program. Future scope will include reaching wider audiences with more curated content. We aim to use technology to aid our program to scale further. Given the sensitive nature of this issue, we aim to use technology cautiously and not make it the absolute focus, but a tool to support this. Finally, we also see the option to offer this program to corporates, which in the long term will help us become financially sustainable. Through an art-based education project, we aim to create an environment where students like Shemba can feel safe, accepted, and respected. And here's the best part. We have several examples from Europe as well as India where similar projects have made significant impact. By incorporating lessons learned from those partnerships as well, we can maximize our effectiveness while catering to the local context. Imagine a world where every child and youth grows up with empathy, acceptance, and respect. I invite you all to join us on this transformative journey. Myself, Shivam Gupta, and my teammate Felix Lorange, we are Team Colors of Acceptance. Thank you.
Thank you, team, for the presentation, and now for the Q&A, I would hand it over to the jury.
Not sure I've fully gotten the concept. So are we talking about like real life art exhibitions, or is it a digital tool that you're planning to develop?
So the objective is to start with a real life project where we will try and develop the content, test it out in some schools, engage the different forms through which we can work on teaching this to students, and then later in the long term take it digitally so that we can then scale it further. But at the start, it will be something that will start in a classroom or in a school.
Exactly. So we're imagining that this could be some sort of interactive art exhibition that will be, which will visit schools, which will offer students the opportunity to engage with the students, and also at the same time provide an opportunity for students to debate. Is a great method for delivering these messages because it is so flexible. We can talk about diversity without explicitly having to talk about LGBTQ issues, which in some areas might be problematic. Sorry, is anyone else speaking now?
You can answer, Shivam.
No, sorry, was there a question after that? I didn't get.
Yes, that was a question from the jury.
What was the question? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah, even I did not hear the question.
Could you please repeat the question? Felix, I think there was a question from the jury members.
Yeah,
no, I think there was no question. No new question raised.
All right.
Rico, there wasn't any new question. It was already something Felix answered.
All right.
And are there any other questions?
All right. So if there are no open questions, I think we can now call up our next team. Thank you, team, for the wonderful presentation. And with that being said, now I'm going to call upon the stage Team Nauruz. Team Nauruz, the panel's all yours.
Rico, can I also please add with your permission just one line here, if that's okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So those who are listening, of course, jury are doing their job of adding scores, but those who are listening, can we put like at least use emojis, hearts and stars to express our support to those who are presenting? I'm debating in my mind whether I should add or no, but I'm very tempted to give a round of cheer to everybody who's presenting. So Rico, with your permission, can I request all the participants to just add their hearts or stars or emojis in the chat box, please, after the presentation?
Yeah, sure thing.
Actually, we would love to, but if I can add, there is no option. I was actually looking for the same.
So Rahul, just add it in the chat box, no? Just to reply to everyone and add it in the chat box, please.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, people, there's a emoji icon in the chat, so you can use that. So now I'm gonna, hand over the panel to Team Nauruz, and Team Nauruz, all yours.
Hi. Can you fathom the pain of being shunned at the door because your gender identity is a source of shame for your family? Envision the torment of being subjected to the sexist slurs like hirja, kaik, kustra in public places, institutions, and workplaces. Contemplate the anguish of being refused by organizations solely because you are a transgender, branding you as a social priya. Now contemplate the depths of anguish as you are compelled to dance for abusive men just to survive. We interacted with 8 trans youths from Pakistan to formulate a solution based on ground reality for the trans youth in Pakistan.
And the problem we come up with based on the prevailed stigma, transphobia, work inequality that stem from the social, religious, and legal setups, which resulted in discriminations, violence, harassment, and abuse, seclusion, and even unacceptability at all in the society of Pakistan that result in marginalization at a social, legal, and economical level. So the marginalization being divided into the two sector. The worst one that leads the ways of the transgender person toward the poverty, sex worker, which then a victim of HIV and AIDS due to the inappropriate way of handling this thing and having no basic education. The second one is a moderate that results in a poor social, emotional support and education in a society that result in a poor livelihood, mental issue, and poor access. And in some case, we have witnesses the death and murder, stabbed, even fired on the stage while dancing for the people. When we come to the unacceptability, when the female family vanished, so the trans person went from the family and go into the system so-called Dera, where he or she ruled by the person known as Chila. Chila decide where he or she can go. But the Chila prefer to earn, therefore they are compelled to dance and earn. So Nowruz, which means a new day, a new beginning, a new dawn in the society of Pakistan with a vision, be bold, build and conquer, with a mission, empower LGBT with a specific focus on transgender persons, individuals and institutions to create a diverse ecosystem, not only those who are a victim, but the people who are contributing to make them a victim, with the value of inclusivity, empowerment, and impact in a whole society, so they may not happen again.
So we are bringing in a market-based solution via social entrepreneurship. Our solution is a 3-tier solution where we address individual level, institutional level, and government level. Going to individual level.
The individual level is further divided into a 3 segment. In the first segment is the establishing of kind of first transgender oriented incubation center in our research study, it has been witnessed that the major reason is their dependency or other, which being exploited by the every segment of society in a form of individual, in a form of institution, in a form of government, which we will train a transgender woman person to be economically independent, which is followed by the Found Rainbow. Found Rainbow is annually or quarterly platform where they will meet, experience, and share. And third is the trans stories, which will form of documentaries film to inspire the other to take a step. Second is institutional level, to fund the university to conduct a research to address the gap existing in our society, legal system, and its implementation. Education is taking the benefits of the students' clubs and societies on the campus to make university, schools, and all the institutions safe for them. And the third is to contract
apologies team. Apologies for the interruption team, but unfortunately we are out of time. So if you can just wrap it up in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, government level, we are working on the quota system, so the government may have specific seats, reserved seat for the transgender to make them visible and inclusive policy and in tax incentives. So please go.
So the major goal is to change the works which are currently performing to them to entrepreneurs. We want entrepreneurship to be promoted among transgender community. Our valuation will be based on input indicators and output indicators, and we wish to do further more, and that's listed here. We believe that digital hacks won't work in Pakistan's context because the digital penetration and social media use is around 30% only. We ask them to innovate, not to agitate. So here we conclude with a statement by Friedrich Neumann himself, who says the idea of liberalism has to be recreated in the course of time. It has lost so much of its clarity and attraction that it's forced to rise like a new dawn in front of the people. So we opt to bring a new dawn in the lives of transgender people in Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation, team. And now over to the Q&A panel.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. No, go ahead. Go ahead,
Yannick.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation. I didn't really get what is the market-based element in your solution. Maybe could you elaborate on that in a few sentences?
Now should I go on? Okay. So we are enterprise. The entrepreneurship initiative itself is a market-based solution because it promotes market activities, free market activities, because these people are engaged in forced labor, which is against the free market rules, or which is denying the fundamental idea of freedom. So we are trying to break their chains by empowering them through the means of Naurus, the project Naurus, such making them entrepreneurs rather than being bonded laborers, like doing sex work or doing forced dance. We are not against sex work as such, but forced sex work is something which is happening in these places where they stay.
Okay, thank you.
And I will add a few things, being a part of the society and having a hand-on experience here. The transgender people, as we mentioned, that the family feels shame that we have it as a part of family which is banished, and from the banishment the problem arises. They didn't get a proper education, and when they didn't get a proper education, so the dependency starts from there, which is being exploited in many forms, and by the society, by the individual, and by the government even itself too.
So we are trying to break the vicious cycle, trying to break some of the parts in the vicious cycle which they are trapped in once they are banished or kept out of, thrown out of their house. We are trying to break the vicious cycle through our entrepreneurial initiatives which we put forward.
Any other questions from the judges panel?
Yes, I have one question here. So since from last year, from the Born with Pride, I have personally met few wonderful transgender women from Pakistan, but I wanted to ask you, with your idea, do you think you will get support from the community in the Pakistan or the government or anywhere? How can you help them from your idea?
So Arang here actually with the transgender activation bill, so I guess he is better person to answer.
Actually, we are currently focused on transgender persons only, because back to the 2017, I was a part of the team who worked on the transgender right protection bill, which gave them a legal right and protections or certain things that make situation a bit better. And what we are, in terms of empowerment, we are targeting the trans person to empower them, so they may to eliminate their dependency or other. End result, when they didn't depend on or other for the livelihood or for the earning or for anything else, so the relationship of dependency toward them by the other people will be also eliminated. And it is just a step. It's a very long process. You can say from the society of Pakistan, but it's just the first step of the 1,000-mile journey we have to travel in this way.
Okay. Thank you.
For the presentation, and now I'm gonna call upon Team Tremploy to take over the panel.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rico, and hello everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. Let me start the presentation with a few raw facts. 37,820,000 trans candidates reside in the South Asian region. More than 6,997 MNCs are based in India alone, both of North American and European origin. More than 96% of the trans candidates remain unemployed, and this includes educated graduates as well as highly skilled professionals. Now, these are all significant numbers, and I can present as many of them in this panel today. But what am I trying to say? Trans employment, unemployment might not look like a huge problem to you, but it is a big enough problem to force millions of people into undignified professions such as begging, badhai, and sex work. What do? We at Tremploy remove these roadblocks in diversity hiring and promoting trans inclusion at workplaces in South Asian region with the collaboration with the European MNCs. Having interacted with the stakeholders such as Shwetambra, Program Manager, Trans and Project Humsafar Trust, and Anjali, a trans woman herself based in Mumbai, we have identified major roadblocks in the transgender community today. Some of them are landing an interview at a MNC, lack of education and skills, and harassment and bullying at the workplace.
And how do we do it? Well, we do it in different phases. Phase 1 being the application phase, phase 2 being the interview phase, and phase 3 being at the workplace. Application phase, we help in removing the roadblocks in such as dual names, the last names, their background verification, their criminal records, etc. During the interview phase, we would like to introduce a philosophy where we believe in will over the skill. Well, no one is perfect, right? And at the workplace, we would like to introduce more sensitization towards the transgender community and making posh policies more inclusive of the community as well. Well, just like our spelling of workplace was not perfect, I'm sure humans are not perfect. Erasmus employees are not perfect either. And just like the good things in life, we don't come for free as well. Well, we have different plans for organizations to choose from, where we focus on the policy review, hiring support, resume shortlisting, sensitization, and we have the pricing as well. Well, I think with Tremploy, let's make the world a lot more inclusive. Thank you. We are open for the questions.
Over to the jury panel.
Thank you guys for the presentation. Great name, great presentation, and you know what your was, so I think you've got quite a few things figured out already. I've got a question though. I mean, these ideas are not entirely new, and removing bias could not only apply to hiring transgender people or people from the LGBT community, and it could also not only apply to MNCs. So why that focus? I mean, okay, transgender, I can understand. We're talking about LGBT matters here, but why the focus on MNCs specifically? And what do you do differently for them that you would maybe do in a different way for Indian companies?
Perfect. It's a great question. Thank you so much, Frank. We do understand we have competitors in the market, and to name some of them, Tribe Circle is one of them. The Humsafar Trust I have worked for 3 years, they are one of them. But what we are doing differently is we are trying to remove the roadblocks specifically for the transgender community in the South Asian region, because over the years it was criminal to do sex work in India, for example, and there are these criminal records which come up in background verification, even if candidates who get selected for European markets, North American markets. Now, when an HR comes with a European mindset, they don't even understand that these kind of criminal records can hinder someone who is well educated, highly skilled to come into the market, and they have to go back to the streets. So this is one of the reasons, and this is one of the USPs, that we focus on the trans community. And why do we do it? Because I think it's about our experience and how we want to do it for the E part of the spectrum, because LGB is talked about enough, and we think this is where we come in and this is where we bring our expertise. I hope I answered your question.
All right. If there are no further questions from the jury panel, just checking in. All right then. Thank you, team, for the wonderful presentation. And now I'm gonna hand over the panel to team R Diary. All yours. You may begin, team.
Yes, hello everyone, and happy Idaho. This is Regita Gong, and I'm based in Bhutan, and my partner is Dishimwandi, who is currently based in the US. Our proposal for this particular hackathon is to create a simple yet dynamic and wholesome newsletter called Our Digital Diary, which we want it to be a safe and harmonious medium of dialogues and interaction between the queer communities here in South Asia and Europe. Based on the theme of online safe space, our first objective is for it to be an online safe space and network. Secondly, we want this to be a platform to share and amplify queer voices, narratives, and stories from the two regions. We also want this to be an educational platform where we are educating the community and learning from the community. And lastly, we want to strengthen the solidarity and sense of belonging in the communities, the queer communities in South Asia and Europe. The reason why we chose to do it in the form of a newsletter is because it's the most convenient, practical, easy, and accessible way of reaching out to the members of communities in Europe and South Asia, first and foremost. And secondly, because it also is a way to send personalized mails to them every month so that they feel the sense of belonging to a community. In terms of the contents in this particular newsletter, we have crafted 8 particular sections after research, and there would be like a column on education, which would have information regarding queerness, SOGIC, and SRHR for the community. We also want to have a news column that addresses any urgent or any important news around LGBTQIA movements in South Asia and Europe. We also want to have a section on queer media that emphasizes, highlights, reviews, movies, films, or songs that is centered around queerness or the idea of queerness. And we also want to be able to feature queer activists, advocates, champions based in the two regions, and as well as organizations. In this particular newsletter, we also want to have an opportunity corner that in a way has resources, links to scholarships, work opportunities, events, etc. that queer individuals in the two regions can access to, and also have other sections such as words of affirmation that in a way motivates the members through kind words, motivating words and phrases, as well as a game corner. In this particular section, this newsletter, we want to be able to collect the inputs from the members. So we want to create a subscription list, and because me and my partner both have expertise in digital advocacy and digital marketing, we believe that we can create a subscription list to the organization that we already work with, and with the help of FNF, we can also extend that reach to more organizations in Europe and in South Asia, and through that have more members join in the subscription list. And later, we want to be able to use this particular subscription list as a network for us to organize online programs, online events to just catch up and again find the sense of community between the two regions amidst the geographical differences through virtual meetups. Yes, and with that, I end my presentation and now on my page. Yes.
Thank you for your really nice presentation. I got one short question. Who should be the editor for the newsletter? You mentioned a lot of things you want to put in the newsletter, but my question is, who does ensure a certain quality and accuracy in the newsletter?
Yes, so like I said, me and my partner both come from have the expertise in digital marketing, content curation, and creation. For example, Dishan Wandi is the founder of, my partner is the founder of Humans of Temple, which is a digital storage sharing platform. So both of us are writers and editors, so we believe we can contribute our time in being editors for the newsletter as well. And also, if we have more members coming on board, of course, we welcome them as editors as well.
All right, so in the beginning, just you two.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I think it's quite a simple idea, but often the simple ideas are the most feasible and the best ones. So two questions. First one, are there any similar newsletters at the moment, like comparable to your idea in the region? And the second question, could you maybe you made some comments on this, but could you maybe go deeper into what would be your strategies to get initial subscribers? So would you work together with influencers or so? But because I think that would be maybe the most difficult part in the project.
Yes, thank you for your questions. To answer your first question, we do not know of any certain newsletter that caters to queer communities here in South Asia and Europe altogether, and that also in the same time collect inputs from the members, the individuals themselves. So we would be our first of this kind. Of course, there are many other newsletters that come on board, but an idea of such that caters to the two queer communities is a new one. And to answer your second question, yes, we want to first of all reach out to the queer organization. Me and Dishan, we both are part of the very active organizations here in South Asia. So we do have a network of organizations, but we want to use FNF as well to extend that connection to more queer networks in Europe as well. And in terms of influencer, the whole marketing strategy, of course, we want to incorporate, we want to use more social media influencers in the region as well as in Europe to be able to to multiply the reach as well. But at the same time, we do have our own websites for our organization, and we do have our own social media following as well, which we would use initially or primarily to reach to a group of audience, and through that word of mouth as well, we'd like to expand that particular connection as well.
Hi. My question was, I didn't hear much about the social media pages that you all plan to be active. So regarding that, how are you going to gain traffic to your newsletter? What are your plans if you start this?
So currently, we do have our own organization called Queer Voice of Bhutan, and Dishan is the founder of Humans of Temple, which again, it's a very small network, but we want to be able to have this particular subscription newsletter embedded in other websites too for FNF as well. So if we get shortlisted and if our idea gets accepted, of course, we can incorporate the option of subscribing to your newsletters to various organizations and their web pages as well. It does not necessarily have to be one particular website or page, but we'd want to extend that to different organizations and their reach as well. So that's the primary goal.
Why don't you just start?
Huh?
Why don't you start?
Yes, of course. That's because this is the most feasible idea, and thanks to FNF, we've already had this in mind, and I think with FNF we can make it really big and global. And yes, this is an idea that we can all do, and it's very much feasible for sure.
All right. With that being said, thank you, judges, for the question, and thank you, team, for the wonderful presentation. And now I'm going to call upon Team Curate to take over the panel.
Thank you. I'm going to share my screen. see my screen? All right.
Yep, all good.
All right. I'm Pragati, and good afternoon to all the jurors. I'm here to present a solution to a problem that was already highlighted by one of our jurors earlier today, by Mr. Parakram. And maybe there's an opportunity for us to partner with Team PNG because we're talking about Curate, which is a social impact startup which aims to evolve the current healthcare ecosystem in countries like India to connect LGBT plus consumers to sensitized professionals. As you can see in my screen, there's a bunch of problems that queer people face, a lot of barriers which could be visible and invisible to access quality healthcare, especially in our country. I'm Dr. Pragati Singh. I'm a medical graduate and a health professional, and I've been working around the social impact area of LGBTQIA communities for almost a decade now. I have with me my teammate, Firdaus, who would please be able to introduce himself now.
Hello, hope you can hear me. I'm Firdaus Alam. I have a background in data science and I have a deep technical understanding of data analytics and algorithms, which I hope will be instrumental in creating and scaling the platform that we're hoping to build.
Right. So as a person who is sexually diverse herself, I'm not surprised at all to see the stats that show how queer people face so many visible but also invisible barriers. But then additionally, as a medical graduate myself, I'm also acutely aware of why there are knowledge gaps when it comes to healthcare providers who might want to do better. And this also explains why many queer people have over the years taken it upon themselves to create their own local Excel sheet databases or WhatsApp lists of queer affirmative doctors, therapists for so long now. And we know that this problem is not just limited to India. It exists across Asia and in Europe too. Curate plans to solve for all of these via training and sensitization programs for health professionals, certifications and verifications for service providers, and then a regularly updated database of these vouched services combined with consumer ratings and reviews, eventually allowing for direct booking through our platform.
So what makes Curate unique? When we looked at the competitors, we found that there is a lack of country-level platforms that have comprehensive filters, updated databases, standardizations, and ease of use for the consumers. While the existing platforms provide some resources, they lack any sustainable or secure method of connecting the patients with the right doctors. The AI integrated technology in your platform will make it easily scalable and adaptable in various other Asian and European contexts. Curate will not only address this gap, but also prepare the next generation of service providers via right-based, medically applicable training programs.
Luckily, we are already in contact with various stakeholders in India, ranging from NGOs to medical associations and bodies. And we have even won a small grant from the government of India, which we've used to develop a little pilot. Think of our platform as something similar to an Uber Eats. Our first step is to be able to create a comprehensive directory of queer affirmative healthcare service providers in India. Eventually, we will expand and be able to generate revenue from direct booking commissions, training fees, certification fees, and featuring business and through advertisements. Thank you.
Yep, thank you team for the wonderful presentation. And again, now I would hand it over to the jury panel.
So you said that alternative platforms currently exist. I mean, there are platforms like Facto, which are of course not aimed at the queer community, but I mean, I'm not a coder, but I could imagine that their filtering options and all their quality checks are rather easy to amend, and they are a platform in a separate brand. So aren't you worried that they change their business model or tweak their business model and become a competitor to Curate?
Yes, they're definitely a potential competitor when it comes to the listing bit of it. But then considering Curate does not just target the listing and the directory services, we're also building the next generation of budding medical professionals and providing them the training to fill the gaps that currently exist. That is something that something like Practo cannot potentially be able to cater to.
Hi. So I love this concept, and also like congrats for the great progress that you had with the funding. My question was, how are you going to? What is the process in training all the doctors? Because I'm sure for them it would also be something that they would want to do for in terms of earning more money for the business as well. More people are going to come to them. So how are you going to sensitize and train them? Because I've had issues where there are people, doctors who have said they're LGBTQIA plus friendly, and they have been a little clueless about some of the STDs and things that are going around. So what do you have to say about that?
100%. That's a great question again, Parakram. And I completely agree, and this is something that I'm speaking from experience, that most medical professionals do not want to listen to somebody who's not a medical professional, even when they're better informed than them, which is why I think our project has a USP. Me being somebody who is a medical graduate, has been working with doctors, is a doctor. I have that edge over other people to be able to penetrate into that community, to be able to use medically sound language to communicate, and also to be able to tell them how to apply that training in their practice. Therefore, increasing their business, but also increasing their desire, which could also apply to government employee doctors, not necessarily just private employee doctors.
So if there are no further questions, I'm gonna go ahead and bring forward team fruit salad. All yours.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
So our solution is like, combining knowledge-based community and technology, and, building trust, accessibility, and relevancy through a customized chatbot solution. So we are all familiar with OpenAI, Zaga and all other chatbots. And so what we are planning is like using the publications website, for example, presentation itself, and train that on LangChain. And here, like, our unique factor is like community themselves will verify based on the placebo like already verified documents. And also, like, currently all the reviews are generated and curated by IMDb experts, but they are experts for generalized field. And here we are like, adding the option to community reviews for, songs, books, and other things as well. And since this is API-based solution, we would be able to first provide via Discord and then move on to, WhatsApp or Telegram, and Slack has a similar /link solution. So how this might be different. So for example, when you search, you can customize the prompt. So for example, when you are searching like from India, so this same text will be changed. Like user from India, this thing will be added. And same thing if we ask, the answer might be long, like no, and there are lows and whatever. In Germany, yes and whatever. But still, we have customized the solution, and we are curating the different prompts. And also we can generate regular contest, and this is like, Lexica based solution. For example, recently Mother's Day, there were lots of...
Shivam, sorry to interrupt, but can you share the presentation, please? It's not visible.
Presentation is not visible?
No.
Oh, shit.
No, team, the presentation is not visible. We assume that you're gonna go ahead with only the video pitch.
You could say that in, beginning. So basically, this is like
LLMs we train on LangChain. Here, currently it's visible, right?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
So for example, previous result are like, tick mark, user one says the placebo things are correct, then test doc user one will be prioritized. Here, like community reviews, we will prioritize, the current members, and there in Discord we can assign roles also. So the priority can be assigned. And for example, Wikipedia has, nice doc, and we can train this on LangChain. And for example, if we ask the same query, it will be converted into this prompt. And like here, only this is added, like our same sex marriage around, and everything is same. And this we are getting from, IP address and other things. And for example, this is Lexicard. We even, found out like during section 377, India was widely, every company was tweeting about it. We could, communicate, and these are like on left, there is global brands. So we can communicate and, create awareness. And based on all this knowledge, we will, combine like the job portal, for example, brands who tweeted, and there will be Robin Hoods like bite-sized snacks and community engagement and other tool as well. So yeah, our tool is like basically the community powered tool for community itself, and it's first it's going to be plugin for just knowledge base only, but you can even integrate with ChatGPT, and like there are Instacart and other plugins like Khan Academy is also planning to integrate. We can also add like LGBT based comment bot in ChatGPT itself. So this is our plan. And yeah. So there were other slides as well. So this is like LangChain model. It basically stores the vector embeddings, and moderators can curate, and so when we get different queries, it will come across. So this will be site we are planning to scrap, and this will be repeating because we're just yeah. So
yes, we are open to questions.
Jury panel.
Thank you to the answer. Shivan, so you presented the solution. I think you even said that right at the beginning. I'm not quite sure though what the problem is that you're trying to solve. Maybe elaborate on that.
For example, if we currently search in ChatGPT, is same-sex marriage allowed? It doesn't know who I am, where I am from, right? And our solution is like catering for example, I talked about movie reviews, right? So there is a movie called Bros. It might be, cater to gay community itself and not, lesbian community much more appealing. So we are trying to curate that experience based on customized chatbot. So that info you have to provide once only, and it's already anonymized. Like you are not revealing your IP address or anything. We are just storing some pinpoint data. And so does that make sense? And the best part is like, for example, like ChatGPT was only trained till 2021. Bard is recently providing the current data, but still they will be ad focused. Our solution should be like, there might be things you might be like, this is biased, this is not biased, this should be like this should be not like this. So this is like where this bot comes in. Like you provide your solution, like you provide your own data,
That's perfectly understood.
And LangChain is quite interesting. You just have to, pass your old data in different embeddings, and you should definitely check out whether or not, regardless of the result.
So is there any more questions from the jury panel?
I'm not sure if I missed some slide. So even like for testing phase, we are like, community themselves can decide like, there are already 4 documents. So next document, user 1 will be prioritized because like this was the correct document. Someone passed the.
Shivam, yeah, you're not sharing your slide at present, and also I'm afraid that we are out of time.
Okay.
So just checking with the jury members if there are any more questions, or we're gonna move forward with the next team. All right, so no questions. And with that being said, now I'm gonna move towards the next team, that is towards inclusivity. So team, the panel is yours.
Hi. Am I audible?
Yep. Yep. You can share your screen.
1 second. I think my friend is having difficulty with sharing the presentation. Just give us a moment. Sorry.
Can we have a minute? I'm really sorry for this.
Yes, no worries.
Can we go through yours?
Okay. I'll share. Not a problem.
Tim, you have the screen share button in the middle in case like you are having difficulty finding it.
Just a second, we had a bit of issue.
Oh man. We need to quit and reopen the Chrome. Oh my god, shit. I think okay. Is it?
Yes, your full screen is
check?
visible.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sorry.
We are really sorry. So,
I think our screen is visible now.
Hi, I'm Priyanshi.
Just a second. Yes. Is our screen visible? Just want to confirm once.
Yep, everything's fine.
Yes. So sorry. Yes.
So hi, I'm Priyanshi.
I am Sadan.
So we will be presenting a solution for the theme access to education and employment opportunities, in which we will focus on education for inclusivity and on addressing mental health issues in the community.
Speaking about the trends, according to Times of India, 60% of LGBT students face bullying, 70% of them suffered anxiety and depression, 43% were sexually harassed, and 33% dropped out of the school. Also, according to UNESCO, close to 45% students have considered suicide once in their lifetime. About the problem statement, discrimination in schools reflects broader societal attitudes towards LGBT individuals fueled by a lack of education. LGBT students face higher rates of bullying and harassment, leading to detrimental mental health effects. Many drop out of school. Schools have to be inclusive if we want society to be inclusive. We identified primary and secondary stakeholders and identified 31 pain points involving various stakeholders, including the primary ones having students, parents, teachers, and secondary stakeholders by the name mental health care institutes, educational institutes, religious institutes, and government.
So, to begin with, we put forward the idea of providing eye-opening education to the right parties and making holistic mental health support available for the community. Our primary research had a 100% agreement to educate the two most prolific personalities in their lives, that is parents and teachers. Our solution targets the pain points and concerns of various stakeholders. Here, I want to highlight our targeting of the parenting classes as part of our solution. So what we understand is education and health, mental health go hand in hand. Our app addresses mental health by offering education, counseling, regular assessments, and personalized recommendations on the basis of the results of the assessments. And all this while maintaining the students' data confidentiality.
Speaking of the current day scenario, let's meet Alex, a high school student who identifies as a LGBT community. Alex often feels isolated, faces bullying, struggles with their mental health, and finds it difficult to connect with others who can relate to their experiences. Alex's grades are slipping, they feel alone and consider quitting.
So, let me walk you through the journey of Alex when we introduce our app Rainbow Connect. It provides a safe space, valuable resources, and a community of like-minded individuals, empowering them in the journey of self-acceptance. The app also educates the fellow students about the LGBT plus community.
Our app offers periodic mental health assessments for Alex, analyzing their emotional well-being, and our machine learning algorithm provides personalized recommendations, ensures timely support. Educational modules empower Alex with LGBT history, rights, and inclusivity knowledge, giving him the right confidence.
Our app connects Alex with the right teachers and the counselors. Discrete notification alerts the teachers when extra support is needed, ensuring timely intervention and care while maintaining their confidentiality.
This transforms Alex's life, fostering confidence, resilience, and a sense of belonging. Rainbow Connect will act as the virtual mentor, guiding their academic journey, offering mental health resources, and connecting them with the supportive allies.
So, with improved confidence and well-being, Alex excels academically and is happier. They actively engage in school activities, forge meaningful friendships, and embrace their identity with pride. This fosters an inclusive and accepting school environment for the LGBT plus students.
And this is how we break down barriers, enabling them to thrive and create a brighter future for the community. While preparing the solution, we considered user journeys for all our stakeholders that we spoke about. But right now, we were mainly focusing on Alex due to our time constraints. Keeping the solution analysis in mind, we had feasibility, scalability, ease of implementation, and the effectiveness of our solution. We did our SWOT analysis, knowing strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats, which we didn't find many. About our research methodology, we conducted research in Mumbai University. We talked to a principal during our primary research. Speaking about secondary research, there are a lot of scholarly articles, books, and reliable sources. We definitely have a future scope in our mind, knowing about the expansion, enhanced features, collaboration, and networking, and definitely all the data that was being collected throughout the process, keeping the confidentiality. This research and data analysis can help the researchers or the psychologists with the much needed data which they have not been able to get, to provide them with the right training materials.
So,
these are our references.
These are our references, and I want to mention that we are all part of a spectrum and not just a coin flip. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are open for questions.
Thank you, team, for the wonderful presentation. And now again, I'm gonna go ahead and ask the jury panel for their questions.
Thank you for your presentation. Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's okay. Yeah. You were in the presentation. You said that the Rainbow Connect app connects the users with the LGBTQ friendly teachers and counselors. So, basic question.
Yes.
Basic question: Who are they, and how do you find them? How do you teach them? How do you? Yeah.
Right. So how our solution actually works is basically we collaborate with schools differently. Every school will be integrated with the SDK of the app. So what it means is it will be a local community belonging to the school. Now teachers right now face this issue where they are not trained perfectly and normally back out when such cases arise. Now if we train these teachers perfectly, through our app, what we can do, these teachers will be handling specific cases. Now, for example, if Alex's teacher knows that Alex is facing some issues, when she goes through Alex's mental health assignment, she'll be given a notification that Alex is having some problems, but obviously it won't be told to her that what are the problems. It will be just to give her a heads up that she needs to pay a specific attention and give him a special care that might be needed. I hope I was able to answer this.
Yeah, thank you. My question goes in the same direction like Yannick's questions. My question is, how do you want to finance the counselors? I understand like the teachers are paid by the government, but how do you want to finance the counselors?
Counselor, there were multiple cases that we talked about. Since we were targeting these schools, normally every school definitely has a counselor teacher. Now, what happens if you talk to them? We connected with a principal, Ms. Rekha from Rasaz International School in Mumbai. She told us that they definitely have a counselor. Once you get this thing rolling, and teachers have this specific training materials that they have to go through. So this would be a part of teachers' curriculum as well. And rolling out is a very effective plan, because if teachers go through this, they have a right training material, they can be very sure of helping students out. And obviously, since we wanted to target the root causes, we want to target the new generation parents that would be coming around. So we want to target the parenting classes. So parenting classes, we also connected with one of the doctors in Mumbai. So parenting classes can definitely be more sensitized, so that they can be made to understand that whatever your child takes up as the future is perfectly normal, and it could actually harbor a sensitive environment all around.
And along with that, it's gonna educate the parents that it's a spectrum, right? It is not black or white. So our basic or our main intention is education of all the basic, majorly teachers and parents, along with obviously the students.
Also, when we conducted our survey in the Mumbai University, we definitely this had a 100% agreement that the education is the most necessary part for teachers and parents, and we had 100% agreement on this.
Because right now teachers themselves are not confident on how to react for such thing like bullying. They know, but if what mentally a student is going through, they are even not confident how to react and how to, you know, provide support to the student.
So just checking in if we have any other questions from the jury panel. All right, so if there are no more questions, now I'm gonna go ahead and first of all, I'm gonna thank all the teams here for all your wonderful presentations and the jury members for your questions. So with that being said, I'm now gonna hand over the panel to Ruhan to take over the moderation again, and happy hacking.
Thank you so much, and thanks to all the participants once again for these fantastic presentations. I was really, really impressed by all your different ideas and all the different thoughts that you have given. I think the actual sort of reflections that we want to hear from the jury members, I'm as excited about that as well. So without adding any lines, I'm going to invite all our jury members. I missed a chance to invite Mr. Roman in the first part of the jury introduction. So may I please start with Mr. Roman first to share his views about all the presentations you heard today. And instead of me coming in every this thing, can I just also request Mr. Yannick to go next to share his thoughts and followed by Mariko. So these three, and then I'll step in again. So Roman, Mr. Roman, over to you, please. Welcome and look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Yes, would you already like to hear like my vote or such a general impression?
Your general impression about the presentations. We are not sharing any scores or vote right now. Just the general impression.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Rohan. So thank you to all of you. It was a great presentation. It was an honor to listen to you. And I'm really, really impressed how well thought all of your presentation been. I think they were all really, really creative. And I'm sure even if you are not selected as one of the top 3, you should be really, really proud of your presentation. Well done to all of you.
Should I just go ahead? I guess so. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I totally agree. Thank you so much for the broad perspective and for the very different, very good ideas. I think also, so I know that some of the ideas also would be relevant for us in Austria and Europe. I believe so that from your perspective, you might think that in the Western, in the European countries, we are much more progressive concerning LGBT rights. And that might be true in general, but I think there are lots of fields where we can also learn from your ideas. And I think that's also the theme of the conference then in June. And I'm very much looking forward to meeting some of you, most of you, at any point, and maybe some of you at the conference in June. And thank you so much for your inspiration and for your presentations. And yeah, and I totally agree. Keep on going, whether you're in the top 3 selection or not. I think all of your ideas are worth. Yeah, keep going. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Michael, over to you.
Hi, Rohan. Congratulations to the top 10, and thank you so much for your wonderful and great presentation. I learned a lot from here, from front of you and the 14 of others, and it was such an wonderful ideas that I saw, and so I just wanted to say thank you. It was a wonderful session we had, and well, good luck for the top 3, and hope to see you soon at the final. Thank you.
Thank you. May I request Parakram, can you please unmute yourself and share your views, and followed by Frank. Over to you, Parakram.
Thank you for having me, FNF. I think all the presentations were great. Congratulations to everyone who were in the top 14 and now top 10. Wish you all the best. I think there's so much I got to learn seeing all the presentations. In South Asia itself, the law varies so much in terms of, acceptance of our community. So there was so much I got to learn, and it was really inspiring. And I had a great time being a jury member at this panel.
Thank you. Frank, over to you.
Thank you to all the participants and my fellow jury members. So I'm here in jury representing FNF, and we also, of course, do that with a little bit of self-interest. And we also want to get new ideas. And that's what we got. There were really a few ideas where I thought, okay, this is really something that we could actually start tomorrow. So that was great. And when we had a first look at presentations, I wasn't quite clear with some presentations where they want to go, but I have to say you all presented that really well. You all stuck with the time. It was concise, and it all made really a lot of sense. So also just very well done when it comes to the presentations. So can't wait to see the final result of our votes, and can't wait to meet the winners and maybe a few others in Colombo.
Thank you, Frank. And without wasting any further time, the 3 winners are. Obviously, we are not going to announce the names now. I was told that the announcement will be done tomorrow. The FNF team, Tenzin, Tashi, everybody will take care of that. So let's wait until tomorrow to hear who are the top 3 teams. In the meanwhile, I'm going to now pass it on to Tashi. On my behalf, as a moderator for this event, I had a great time interacting, hearing all of you and seeing all these presentations before the event and as well as during the event today. Really, it will take me some time to just make connections of all the different things that you have presented. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to sort of being so closely involved in this platform. Over to Tashi from FNF, and look forward to interacting with many of you, some of you in person, as Yannick said, and some of you, maybe your brilliant ideas will thrive and will feel proud that, oh, I had heard this idea before. So all the best to all of you for that. Over to Tashi.
Wait, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rohan, for the wonderful facilitation. And thank you everyone for joining us today, especially the jury members, the top team, and all of and everyone who helped us coordinate this event. Special thanks to the team at Hacker Earth. You did a wonderful job. You held our hand throughout this event. We will be ever grateful for this. So thank you so much. And I would also like to thank my team at FNF, especially Pujit and Tenzin Belger and Manjari for taking this initiative, and obviously thanks to Dr. Frank for the wonderful opportunity that we have. And I look forward to taking this initiative forward. This is just the beginning for FNF, and we will take this initiative forward as long as we are here. So this is not the end. We will always meet in the future. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for your time. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Tashi, and thank you everyone for being here, for presenting your ideas, for judging the ideas submitted by the finalists. And we're gonna see you someday later because the earth is round. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also,